Hi, everybody. It's me, Carol, from Healthcare Potholes with Christian Faith. My hair is kind of up and down. I've been sort of out with the dogs uh, with the snowstorm. We're having a snowstorm, and I heard this morning when I woke up between 4:30 and 5 that a tornado had hit down through Texas around Houston area. And I have a friend that lives down in that area, cousins that live in Alabama, and then I heard it hit Louisiana as well. So it was kind of going through that southern tier of the tornado. And then the next story was California, Malibu was hit by an earthquake. I'm like going, oh my gosh, what's going on? I think it was like 4.6 on the Richter scale or something. And then they had an aftershock that was 3 point something. And if you've ever had earthquakes, they hit and then there's an aftershock. And sometimes there may be other aftershocks because what is happening is the planes of stone are moving, and that's what's causing the earthquake. So anyhow, I have a brother that's waking up and another one that dogs that are grumpy. So it's been a fun day. So I'm trying to get this done, but he's in there bellowing, and eventually he'll settle down and maybe I can get my tape done. But anyhow, I want to talk about all this discord in the country that we're having. We're having a lot of problems, natural disasters. We had a hurricane last year in Florida that went inland quite a bit, threw off tornadoes, and another one hit on the East Coast. And we had the fires out west and flooding here recently, lots of snow that they've not been accustomed to for a very long time. And when that melts, there'll be tons of flooding. That's when you stay out of Sedona Canyon. So it's a lot of natural disasters that people did not bring on themselves. And it's going to take them years to get back. And sometimes you never even get back because you've lost memories of your family and photographs during the tornadoes and natural disasters. And it's just a lot of big things that hit and happen. And it's just like, wow, I gotta, um, you know, realize, how do I deal with this? I have no home to go back to. That's devastating when you think about it. And there's people that are losing homes over finances, and that's devastating to them too. While they may have different circumstances, the ultimate thing is they're still losing their home. They're losing their safety place where they feel safe for the most part. Um, you have let's say a tornado comes through and just tears your house to the inner core, and you don't have anything to come back to. So not only are you dealing with that stress and loss, your paperwork is gone. And the tornado picked up your papers and strewn them all over the place. You have no idea where they're all at. Someone finds something with an ID number on. They pick that up and they all of a sudden assume your identity, and they've stolen your identity. So now you've been identity theft and you have that to deal with. And that may be, a year or two before you find that out. You may find it out right away. It just all depends. They may find your bank account information and steal it. You just never know what's going to happen in that natural disaster. And it's darn scary. It's darn scary. And I was all of a sudden, after I had heard about these disasters and I had gone and put the dog out and came back in, and I sat down and I heard on the TV, Shack is advertising a piece of equipment. I think it's around $300 where you can just scan all your bills and it'll organize everything for your income tax and everything. I said, everybody in every house needs to have that, because if they get hit by a hurricane, they have it on the computer. They have it on the disk. It might not be on your computer, but you might be able to access it on another computer that you get, or you might be able to go to the library and use their computer and be able to access the information you need. And then it's not thrown all over the place, all over the country, and other people can identify. I'm not saying the hackers don't get in and do things too, because they can. And it's scary times that we're living in. And no matter how good you are, it doesn't matter. And because someone has problems, they're not spoiled. No, my parents made us work when we were age 14. We were out babysitting. We were out dog sitting. We were out doing things at a young age. My brothers had a paper route. I would say they were not spoiled. I did things like lifeguarding when I was in high school, teaching swimming lessons. I was not spoiled. Someone thinks I'm spoiled. They got a delusional attitude, convoluted, delusional attitude. I worked 3 jobs in Arizona. I lived out there. My parents decided that they would move out there. They moved in with me. Okay, fine. What can I say? Is it being spoiled? No. So, she thinks Ray was more balanced because he went on and got married and had some kids that are, and then Max, and then he just continued on and continued on, and we weren't spoiled. We all did things. Gary was out working. He had a lot of hard knocks when he was working because he had a bad boss that was just really bad. A lot of people told him after that guy left that he was a bad seed. My brother said, yeah, I found out the hard way. It'd be nice if someone would have come and told him before he jumped at the office. Hold on. Max, get outside. Leave the vacuum alone. Thank you. So, anyhow, oh my God. Good thing we didn't go. Yeah, I know. So, anyhow, we're having a big time snowstorm, and he's just putting the one dog out, and the other dogs have to go out. So, it'll be a little noisy. But anyhow, Mayhem. God didn't say that things would be easy. I love the book of Job. I'm going to refer you to the book of Job. He talks about problems. He talks about finding solutions for your problems. I'm not saying he's going to say, well, gee, I had a tornado hit. What's my solution? No. He had things that happen that he's given you, what you need to do if you have a problem is to find a solution. In other words, the late Robert Schuller, I used to watch him a lot. And my brother attended his church upon occasion, his wife, when they lived out in Orange. And he was going to seminary. And one of the things that Schuller used to say is, turn your hurts into halos, turn your scars into stars. And there's books out there. And I've read those 2 books, and they're awesome books. They're awesome books. So I highly recommend, if you're going through any type of trauma or tragedy, that you get those books and you see what he says about hurts and halos and stars into scars. Because when you have problems, you grow by your problems. Not meaning that you sit down and eat gallons of ice cream, but I'm saying that you grow in a nurturing way to learn how to handle those problems and how to see through that. And just because you've had those problems doesn't mean that the next individual has the same problems. Their problems are different. And we all beat to a different drum. We all have our own opinion. And whether that opinion is right or wrong is debatable. And it's always not how I see it. So it's not, you see it this way, but I don't see it this way. So, it may be how you see it, but that's not how I see it. And that's one of the things that I just love. And I think that, as individuals, we need to just learn to let go. If you've had a troubled past, for God's sake, let go of it. Pray about it. It happened. things resolved. People got better, hopefully, and you've moved on, and you've had a good life, and you gotta just take and pray. Turn it over to God. I can't emphasize that enough, that you have to turn it over to God, and God will see you through it. And when you have a tornado come through or a hurricane, you're afraid. My God, you're afraid. I mean, I just can't imagine going through that. My cousin was hit by a hurricane where she lived down in the Alabama area, and I think it's been about a year or two. And she took pictures, and I thought to myself, boy, I couldn't live through stuff like that. Now, her dad would like to build, and he was very good at what he did. So I'm sure she learned along the way how to do various things, and I'm sure that they had, good coverage. But it just, I could not handle that with my health issues, and my brother couldn't. And I sat there when the hurricane hit down in Florida, and we talked about it, and I says, I don't want to live down there. There's no way that I could live down there and be boarding up houses. I can't climb a ladder. I have a problem just doing a two-step ladder with my spinal cord injury. So I'm very unsteady, and I just don't have that dexterity anymore. I used to be able to climb a ladder with no problem, but after this last car accident, and the spine has settled down after surgery, and it is what it is. My legs are very wobbly, and I have neuropathy, and I don't have feeling, and that's scary to try to climb a ladder when you don't have feeling. So I'm just not going to have that happen. Hold on. Okay. So I had to close the door because he's whining to the dog who's out eating all the snow that likes to eat. So he'll eat the whole dog run before he comes in practically. He's a nutcase. I love that dog, but he took a bullet in the face and it rattled his brain, and he thinks that he needs to be out eating snow all the time. I don't know. He's a collie. I don't know if other people have collies that do things. Laddie didn't do it. Shep didn't do it. Hayden doesn't do it. They're all collies, so I don't understand this. So anyhow, so we're just trying to figure this out. But anyhow, you just have to find a niche when you're maybe going through a problem, and see if you can use your talent to help people with that problem. And it's very important to do, because if you have a niche and there's been a hurricane, tornado, you need to help people rebuild, then do it. Do it. If you don't like how insurance claims are being processed, offer some assistance to the insurance company. You might get a job, you might not. It's just all depends. And I imagine people that go through these natural disasters lose their jobs, so they have job loss, they have house loss, they've lost their important papers, their photographs, their memories. They don't have the sense of security. They may have lost their car. I just can't even begin to imagine the mayhem that these people are experiencing. And I heard that a dog shelter had been hit, and I was like, oh, I wish I had the place to put these dogs. I don't. And I have 3 of my own, and, I don't have a big property. I don't have it fenced in. Or, man, I would be offering to take in a couple dogs to help ease the shelter down there. Some lady has already opened up her shelter to take some of the dogs in, and cats. So I'm like, that's a really good individual that can do that. And it's nice that they're helping out and banding together to take care of the dogs and cats. But there's also horses and stuff. Oh my God, hold on. Oh my God, you look like a snow dog. He is. Oh God, honey, you shouldn't be out in that stuff. Yeah, I know. It's bad. Yeah, I know. You're not going to get him off. That's pretty. Here, let me. Here, Coffee. Hold on just a second. We got a little crisis. Coffee, come over here. Let me get that snow off your head. And come here. Here. He's coming. He's got it on his head. He's coming. He's got snow. It's really coming down right now, and I'm glad we didn't go to the hospital for my infusion today, and I'll be going tomorrow. And I said to my nurse that called, I says, I hope roads are better. If they're not, I'm not coming. So just keep that in mind. I'll take the appointment for tomorrow, but if they're not better, we won't be coming. I don't know how this is going to weather through the night either. So hopefully roads will be good in the morning and we can get where we got to go. But I'm glad she called. I really am. But anyhow, getting back to people's natural disasters that they're having, we got all band together. We're in this country together. We got to band together. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. We all need to band together and resolve the issues that are at hand and help our fellow American get out of this problem as quickly as possible. They're never going to get their photographs back, probably. Maybe someone might find them and try to return them. That would be wonderful. But sometimes you never get things back, especially in hurricanes where they might go out to the flood and out to the lake and ocean and whatever. It's just, if there's a flood by a river, you might never get those things back. It's just it's sad. And but I like how Shaq was putting things in an organized fashion. I have a scanner, and I'm going to start taking my bills back and start scanning them into the scanner. And I don't know how big my hard drive is, if it will be able to support all the stuff that I have here that I have to scan. But we're going to try it and see what happens. If not, I'm going to start saving a quarter here, a quarter there, and buy that piece of equipment. And that's all I can do, because I think that's an important piece of equipment to have. It made me realize, we need to, get everything on hard disk. So, hard drive or whatever you want to call it. So anyhow, I pray for all those that are down there. Turn your burdens over to God. Turn the situation over to God. Start praying. Know that we're all thinking about you, and I wish I could be there as a nurse. Be nice to have an RV and drive down there and park it and, check people's blood pressure out and take a pharmacist with me with some medication so that people can get their medications they need during these natural disasters. And, I would love nothing more than to do that as a nurse. But I'm tied to an IV pole every other day, and it prevents me from doing the things that I would love to do. But God seems to want me where He has me, and I have to accept that, and I have to pray about it. And it doesn't make me spoiled, I've been sick all my life that I've had to deal with it, but there was a time I was able to show dogs. I wasn't tied to an IV pole, and I had a champion out of my dogs, and almost a champion, 42 first open place wins, and the first certified dog in the country that's a Dalmatian for mobility, a liver and white variety. We were the first at that, and so I've done good things. I've done very good things, and I'm very happy about it. And but getting back to the mayhem, we have to figure out a plan to make sure that people get on track and get their life back. And, if you have to do things pro bono, God will know that you're doing things pro bono. He will reward you. There was a time that I worked down at Joyce Southfield Medical Clinic, and I got a stipend, and it was only around 100 to 200 a paycheck. And it was the best time of my life. I was given a lot of my talent back, and it was good. It was good. I gave a lot of my talent, did a lot of teaching, a lot of witnessing. I loved it. I wish I had another job like that. And, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And the reviews were just amazing. But, my manager wanted to retire, and she sold the business, and then new management came in, and they were supposed to keep her staff on, and they let us all go. And it happens, it isn't anything I've done. I didn't do anything wrong. It was just that their management that was coming in that bought the place didn't want any of the old people, because they didn't want the discord or something. I don't know. But whatever it is, it happens, and you just have to let it go and roll off your shoulders. And yes, that is a stress. It isn't anything I did wrong. It just was people doing things that they want to do. And you have to just bend with it and flex with it, just like with the tornado hitting. And know that Red Cross and FEMA and Good Samaritan are there to help you. And there's other nonprofits there to help you. Sometimes churches can help you if they haven't been hit. Shelters are up and going for people, and it may not be the best situation, but at least you have a roof over your head if you're in a shelter during the time that you've lost your house. So it's all stress, and I just don't want it to play on your health. That's the main thing. That's why I said you got to turn everything over to God, because this stress will play on your health and make you sick. If you're diabetic, your sugars will be raging higher than they normally do. If you're if you have hypertension, you may have a stroke over it. If you have high cholesterol, you may have a stroke or a heart attack. So be mindful of your health conditions that you have. Your cancer may get worse during the stress. If you're fighting cancer and you've had the tornado come through, remember, stress plays on the cellular level. Hold on one second. Hayden, kennel up right now. Right now. Here. What do you want to do? I got him. If you want to get his leash, I got hold of him. What? I got hold of him. Oh, I thought you were doing him. No, I did that earlier. So, anyhow, just know that it plays on your stress at the cellular level, and I want you to take care of yourself and get your meds if you can somewhere at the next town over that wasn't hit. It's just, I'm sure there's got to be a doctor around that can get those scripts transferred over, or pharmacy. And it's just, you got to take care of yourself during this time. Allow yourself time to de-stress. Take a deep breath. Turn it over to God. Pray. Because I'm telling you, prayer is a good thing during stressful times. I've been through a lot, and I've been doing a lot of praying. And so it's just like you got to do what you got to do to let things go. And don't let people have false expectations either. So anyhow, it's tough. It's tough, but you know that all the stress from the tornado and earthquakes are just going to play on you, and you just need to learn to let it go to God. God will see you through it. God will see you through it. It may not seem like it, but He is working behind the scenes like He always does. And be patient. Try not to get angered. If something isn't right when people are helping you, stand your ground. Stand your ground. That's important, to stand your ground. And make a list of things you have to do, and check off what you have to do and what you've done and what you're not doing. And, you know, that way you can stay a little more organized, have a little more control of something where you don't have control of from it happening. And we all seem to want to have control over things. So I suggest writing a list down of what you need to do and what your needs are. And, you know, okay, I got to get meds for Johnny. I got to get meds for my dog. Got to get meds for my cat. I got to get meds for myself. I got to get, you know, make a list of things that you have to do. I got to talk to the insurance company. I got to find my bank card. I got to, go through the whole list of what you have to do and check it off as you get things done. You will be so amazed how much better you'll feel as you're getting through that list of things that you have to do and that you have control. And that's one thing that we as people need to have is control. And they even try to control other people. Well, don't do that. That'll drive the other person batty. So don't do that. Leave, just say, oh, I'm making a list out and I'm checking it twice to make sure I got it for Santa. But do make a list out because it'll make things go a little better and you'll know and write things down that you have to do. I do that now with handling things with our finances. And it makes you feel better. So I just wanted to let you know that. And things will work out. You have our prayers. We know that organizations are going to come. They're going to declare natural disasters. And if there's anyone out there with a talent that can build houses, get down there and help rebuild. If you can put tarps on roofs and you're not afraid of heights and you know how to do roofing, help. If you know how to cut trees with a bandsaw or whatever saw you have, the saws that they come and cut trees down with, lumberjack saws, help. If you can bag up, debris, do that. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be done after a natural disaster like a tornado. And people need food supplied when they're working. Bring in some food if you're a good cook. Maybe you have an RV and you can just loan your kitchen to help cook things for people. Um, just all sorts of things that you can do. If you have extra crates for dogs, offer them. If you have X-Pens, offer an X-Pen. Maybe there's a dog wandering around, you can put it in an X-Pen to keep it safe so it don't cut its paws. I mean, until you can find the owner. There is so much that needs to be done. And just try to help. That's all I'm saying is just try to help your fellow American. I would like nothing more than to see when tornadoes come through or natural disasters that we have their lives back in a month. I would like nothing more to see that happen. That means insurance claims are resolved. They're getting their house put back. It might not be, the same furniture because they've lost furniture in it, but they have furniture coming and they can have a place to lay their head. They can have a sofa. They can have a TV. They can have, some dishes to cook with. They can have a kitchen. They can have a bathroom. I would like nothing more than to see things remedied in a month. That would be so wonderful. Just think about that. Pray to God that this is a quick remedy and not long drawn out months after months after months after months. That dealers will start donating maybe some used cars to people that have lost cars in this disaster. They can be wrote off as charitable contributions. So maybe the dealers all need to get together and decide what they want to do. Think about that. But anyhow, help your fellow American out. Pray for everybody. Pray to God. Cast your burdens unto God. Just like when he was in that boat going side to side and the disciples woke up Jesus and said, "We're afraid." He said, "Why are you afraid? I'm here with you." And he is with you. And take refuge in that he is with you. He calmed the seas. Now, did God cause this tornado? No. Satan probably did, and I find the closer you get to God, the more Satan works overtime in your life. And you'll find that out, and you just have to say, Jesus, I'm not afraid, but I know you're here to help me, but boy, this person over here is really razzing me, and I can't handle it, and it's Satan, help me. And just leave it go. That's what you have to do. So I'm telling you, mayhem is always going to happen, and you have to learn to deal with it. And if you can find a niche during the mayhem, then do it. Okay? That's my message for today. Have a good one.